In 3, 2, 1, we are live.
Is the clock rolling on that red little banner?
It is. We are at 9 seconds.
Oh, look at us. Souk, we are back on the Facebook Live, USA Today, Little News 12. We got it all working out. Jeffrey, what's going on? Good to see you. This is TV. You're supposed to speak. If you speak, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Listen, I didn't know whether they had to pay like an extra residual if I actually spoke.
What's going on, everybody?
Hand gestures.
Getting ready for an amazing 3 guests here on our Facebook Live today. Souk,
another jam-packed show.
We're doing it again, Souk. We're doing it again.
Absolutely.
We have got a mentalist extraordinaire, Jon Stetson, is coming on the show. I mean, you talk about blowing people's minds.
Yeah. I mean, a mentalist.
Jon is the guy.
Yeah. You're thinking to yourself, what is a mentalist? What is a mentalist?
Jon
what is the definition of a mentalist?
The guy.
A mentalist who's able to meddle in your mind.
Yes, and pick your pocket. You've got to pick a pocket or two. We also have a group called The Waiting coming up a little later on. They are a Tom Petty tribute band. So if you're Tom Petty fans, you're going to love these guys.
Who's not a Tom Petty fan?
And Suki, I hate to break this to you, my new girlfriend, Susan Rice.
Oh, good.
Funny old bag. Susan is on with us a little later on.
She'll appreciate that you call her a bag.
It's not,
well, that's her name. Funny old bag.
Not derogatory. That is her name. Yeah,
that's what she goes by on Instagram.
Oh,
funny
really?
old bag. She's 71 years old. She's been doing comedy for a long time.
I didn't even know. I thought she just did the news.
No. What news? What news? Who are you thinking of?
I was thinking about your part, the lady on 1010 Wins, Susan something.
Susan? Susan Richards?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know if she'd appreciate you calling her a bag.
You thought we were going to have Susan on the show?
I thought so.
Susan
I was like,
Richards?
No. Susan for an hour.
No. We're into Susan Rice.
Not Susan Richards.
If you look at your text once in a while, you'd see.
Yeah.
So she's funny old bag, and she's fantastic. She does stand up. She's got 100,000 followers on Instagram, and she's really funny. So she's coming on. She's coming on from LA, but we got Jon Stetson coming up. And listen, in honor of Jon Stetson coming up, well, you know what? Let's start the show, and then I'll do this with you guys before Jon comes in. So let's just hit the start of the show, Jeff, and then we'll kick it in.
I'm not sure how to do it without a countdown.
The Suki and Scott Show.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling.
It's musical. It's magical.
Suki and Scott, the 7 of Hearts. Woo! Exactly.
This is a sexy show.
Someone's getting some action.
Now, these larger-than-life personalities are on an exciting new journey as they bring you the Suki and Scott Show.
You guys nailed it. You're great. You ask great questions. You listen.
I answered you because I have respect for you guys, and it was a question respectfully put.
The Suki and Scott Show is your one-stop destination for humor.
You like De Niro and Cape Fear. Counselor.
Entertainment.
Jesse's girl.
Wonderful.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
And optimism.
You guys have such amazing energy.
Ultraviolet light, it gets in there and it just fights the kung flu. Is that right? Okay.
Let's laugh together.
I love him.
The Suki and Scott Show.
That's the best intro for a show I maybe have ever seen. Your intro is fantastic.
Wake up, everybody.
What's going on, everybody? The Suki
Let
and
us
Scott
entertain
Show.
you.
Let it ride. What's going on, people? Souk, so good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
We are back in our Odyssey studios. Jeff, where'd you go? Why'd you leave? Souk, he doesn't understand that he's at a microphone and he can speak.
Okay, yes, but I don't think he knew he was supposed to be off the top.
No, it's fine. Why come on? We say hello. What's going on, my brother?
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Good to see you. We got it's summertime kicking in. The weather's beautiful in New York. We're in this beautiful studio at Odyssey in Hudson Street.
In a undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location again.
In somebody else's basement this time.
Nobody knows we're here.
It's a very expensive basement, I'll tell you.
I look at the schedule. I see when the room is open. No one knows we're here. We set up the cameras, the lights,
we do it.
And we do the show. And ladies and gentlemen, we have got an amazing show coming up. Jon Stetson is here. Suk, when it comes, we've had mentalists on this show. We've had magicians. We've had mentalists.
Yeah.
Guys doing mind tricks. We even had one guy. Do you remember I pulled out an envelope from under our desk and he had the answer was
I remember it.
And we were like, how'd that envelope get there?
Yeah.
But Jon Stetson is literally the cream of the crop. This guy's performed for presidents, for royalty, and when it comes to mind blowing, I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Meddling with our minds.
Meddling with our minds, digging into your pockets. So John's coming up in just a second. And in honor of John's coming on to the show, I've come up with 2 brain teaser questions.
Oh boy,
for the 2 of you guys. Yeah, I wanted to see, if we were mentally on the right track with each other. So I want to give you guys a question, and together we'll see if you can come up with the answer. You ready?
All right.
You got to think. You got to think. Ready? There's just 2 of them. So here's the first one.
I'm already done. You said I had to.
Yeah, it's a brain teaser. We got to think. Nobody wants to think anymore.
Well, you're not supposed to take mushrooms before the show. You know what I'm saying? While riding along in a river, you approach a boat. The boat has not sunk, but when you look closely, there's not a single person on the boat. How is that possible?
The boat was floating.
No,
on the river?
That's not the answer, Suki. Jeffrey, any answers?
It's occupied by ghosts.
There is not a single person on the boat. How is that possible?
Well, a ghost is not a person. It could be ghosts. It's a ghost.
I don't know.
Suk, I thought we were mentally connected, Suki.
No, I don't know.
The answer is they were all married. There's not a single person on the boat. They were all married.
Okay.
All right, here's the second one. Yeah, I see.
I see
the 3 of us. I know no mental telepathy anywhere between the 3 of us. Suki, what number am I thinking of right now?
13.
Not the right answer. No, it was 7.
That's what I was gonna say. That
7?
was mine. I got it. 7. That's my lucky number.
Here we go. One more. You ready? Johnny's mother has 3 children. The first child's name was April. The second child's name was May. And the third child name was?
June.
No, it's not June. Say the first part of it again? No.
Is that it?
Johnny.
What's her name?
Johnny.
Johnny is the third answer. There you go.
I set you up perfectly, Suki. I did that on purpose.
There goes June. I love Jeff. What number am I thinking of now? Think mental.
7.
No, 13.
I was only 6 off.
Ladies and gentlemen, since we have no mental telepathy here in this studio, although Suk did get the Johnny question right, Jon Stetson coming up. He is America's master mentalist. Take a look at Jon. I think he did take shrooms before the show.
You did.
Take a look at Jon, and then we'll see him on the other side. Watch.
Welcome, America's master mentalist, Mr. Jon Stetson.
Now play some games, what we call mind-to-mind contact. The name of the first boy she ever kissed. Jamie.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Getting good, isn't it? To the number 6. Focus. This is so cool.
The joy they had found.
You want more? I like what you do, a room full of highly intelligent people who stare at me like this. There we go.
Because I'm in the game and I'm in the moment and I am not afraid to take a chance.
You want to play?
Play, John. We want to play.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Jon Stetson?
Well, hello. It's so nice to be back on the show. And I'm so glad that I did so well last time that Suki has actually decided to join us herself for this one.
That's right. Jon was on years ago with us.
Yeah.
I think when the pandemic was still in full bloom because we were all in our homes And here we are, John, 7,000 shows later. We're still going.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah, I love it. I love that video, and not afraid to take a chance. And by the way, Jon Stetson is a great name either if you own cologne or you're a mentalist. I think it's perfect.
Not so bad for hats.
Right, or hats.
Or hats. Or hats.
You know, I prefer to not talk about the smell. But, yes, the hats, my family, just not my money.
I love it. I love it. John, great to have you aboard. How long have you been doing this now?
Gosh, I have been doing this. This goes back in my family. So I really started my my journey when I was, 5, 6 years old. So I always say I wasted the first 5 years of my life. But it's been an incredible journey through show business, through comedy, through spirituality, through the performance, and I'm just so blessed to be where I am right now, living my passion, doing what I love to do. Besides, of course, our entertainment programs, I do a lot of keynote speeches for corporations and whatnot. Speaking about how to communicate like a mentalist, because let's face it, everyone expects us to be able to read their mind.
Okay, so you said you were 5 years old when you kind of realized you had this gift, and it was something that runs in the family.
Yes.
So tell me about how you were able to tap into that, and then obviously it changed the trajectory of your life.
Well, actually, like any child growing up in any environment, it was just what we did. So it wasn't a huge epiphany moment for me. You know, I wasn't struck by lightning or anything like that. It's just the way we were brought up. I did a show for a few years in downtown Boston at the Omni Parker Hotel. Such a great place, and it's haunted. You know, so it's a wonderful place to do our stuff. It's the oldest continuously running hotel in America. But we did a show called Mind Reading Confidential that was really neighborhood centric, because my grandfather used to walk me around and ask me questions about people, and he was teaching me, but I didn't know he was teaching me.
Oh, wow.
Kind of a thing. Yeah. He'd be saying, wow, do you think they're going to work or coming home from work? Or this kind of thing. And so it was that kind of, I want to say, intuitive development, but teaching me to observe, teaching me to be in the moment, to be present. And it's really something how it takes so many years for you to realize your own truth in so many levels. Everything I do now is based on being present, being here. When we project forward in our lives, what are we doing? We're creating stress, fear, and anxiety. Going backwards, well, we tend to come back a bit depressed, don't we? Only when we're right here and right now are we present, and are we able to wake up our if people don't believe in a natural sixth sense, I pray they believe in the other five. And when they're working together, you become more observant. You learn to listen to comprehend, as opposed to listen to respond, for example, is huge to being present. These types of things I go towards allow me to not take things personally in this world and not to make assumptions.
Suk, I feel like he's reading my mind right now.
Yeah.
John, is it?
I'm in there, and I was watching you guys before with your amazing telepathy displays of telepathy.
Yeah, man, it was incredible.
So you were doing a little remedial mind reading.
Third grade, Suki.
Third grade.
And I too love your opening, because I saw so many friends of mine.
I love it.
So made me feel right at home here immediately.
Is it, John, is it easier to do what you do in situations like this over, remotely, or when people are in front of you in a group situation?
It works both ways. I don't look at one as being easier or more difficult. Of course, in doing lots of things for corporations, I was involved in sort of the early days of video conferencing, when I was doing a lot of shows for Southern Bell at the time, and they had these huge devices that were used for video conferencing. Now, of course, we can do it on our phones and our laptops, but this was real state-of-the-art stuff in the 90s. So I developed material for a program to be done, well, we'll say virtually.
Virtually, yeah.
That's amazing.
So it really prepared me for what was coming down the pike. And like anything, there's a learning curve that goes along with it. But here's the bottom line: people are people.
It's true.
That's the constant.
People are people.
People who need people.
Yes,
John. Before we continue on, are there some things that you could do with Suki and I right here over this particular medium?
Oh, of course. Well, I already have been. But it's so funny when
meddling with our minds.
I know
when you guys were speaking before about numbers, and I love that kind of thing where numbers are intrinsically interesting, and I use them in a lot of my programs. But I also believe in the concept of luck. I think that life is more fun when you bring luck, the concept of luck, into it. I love all things mystical. I love all things that go along with just mystery and uncertainty. Albert Einstein said there was two ways to look at life: one that everything is a miracle, and one that nothing is a miracle. I live in the miracle camp because I'm selfish. It's more fun. And I jot something down for you guys earlier. I don't know if you can see this, my lucky number, actually. Most of us have a lucky number, or even the most, it's funny, the most skeptical of us will quite often say we'll have a favorite number kind of thing. And speaking of that, I love skeptics, true skeptics, seekers of proof and truth. What I loathe are cynics who masquerade as skeptics. They kind of tick me off, but that's a different story for a different. You know the type. I'm a skeptic. No, you're kind of just a jerk. Thank you.
Just a jerk right now.
Anyway, I'd like for both of you just to relax, and I'm not going to show you my lucky number. I don't want to spoil the fun for this mind game, but I would love for both of you to just kind of formulate what you think could potentially be my number. I'll give you a clue. It is not higher than 99.
Okay.
Now, Suki, yes or no? Do you have a number in mind?
Suk, do you?
Yeah, one number just popped into my head.
Go ahead.
Interesting. Hang on. And Scott, do you have a number?
I do.
Excellent. Suki, for the first time, what's your number?
I was in the 8s. I was thinking 88.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Scott, what were you thinking?
I was pretty close to. I was thinking 77.
Wow, you guys are what was that? 12 off. Interesting.
11 off. 11
yeah.
off.
Okay. Interesting. I'd like to show you my lucky number. Can you read it there?
Oh wow, 90.
90. Yeah. Oh, I'm sensing some weirdness.
Is it 90?
Wait,
was it 90?
The number wasn't there.
Was
that number
before?
wasn't there a second
I
ago.
know.
No, the 90. Yes, well, my
90,
my hand was covering it there. Scott, thank you for paying attention.
Okay.
Yes, it was. I didn't want to reveal it because if I showed you the number, you might just know what it was. But using your intuitive ability, I'll show you quite simply that I had a little note, just one, inside this envelope. And
Suki will be the
Scott,
closest. She will be off by 2. Oh, man.
Which, by my calculation, is exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened. 88. Oh, my God.
You all being here today. Well done and well played. Nicely done.
Oh, my gosh. It was very funny because, like you were saying, everybody has a favorite number. And I was thinking, yeah, I like 2s, 22s. And then you're like, well, think about me. And I'm like, oh. And then 8 popped into my head. And then I was like, oh, I'm just going to. And then you said it has to be under 90. And I was like, oh.
That's funny.
Maybe I'll do 2 8s.
John, the show, The Mentalist.
Yes.
I read that was based around you.
Well, I was one of the influences, according to the producers of the show.
Wow.
I was contacted and asked about different. They had the idea, of course, for a program that featured somebody who used to do what I currently do, kind of thing. So they were asking me lots of questions about background and whatnot and things, and then different aspects of my life ended up in there. I mean, fortunately, there was no Red John in my world, and my family was not murdered. But so they took different things and placed it in there. Great program, great people. It was just fun to have my involvement with them. So yeah, it was fun.
When you're gifted as a mentalist, I gotta imagine is there any drawbacks? You walk into a room, are you like bombarded by things, or is it like a psychic? Like, you know how we've interviewed psychics before, and they talk about how they turn parts of themselves off when they have to walk into something or be a part of something because they really read energy and they're out there and it kind of comes to them. Does the mentalist sort of feel the same way, since you said you're attuned to people's body language? And I got to imagine it's the same stuff.
Well, in my case, the answer is yes.
Okay.
There are mentalist has become a very broad term for a lot of people now, and in many cases, people who, well, as a matter of fact, the show, our show, The Mentalist, they almost really wanted nothing to do with me because I've actually heard one of them say, Stetson's a lunatic. He believes in all this stuff. I have a foot really in all camps. I believe each and every one of us are natural empaths. I believe we feel things. For example, you walk into a room and you go, wow, this feels great. Wow, what a great feeling. What a great energy. I love it here. Mm-hmm. And primarily, and then of course, there's the other side where you go, oh, bad juju. I'm not digging this at all. I got to get out of here. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Or you meet someone and then you go, she is not quite right. And it turns out on further
investigation
experience that you're feeling we're correct. How often do we deny our first instinct for things and overthink them? We're constantly feeling. I mean, everything is, our scientist tells everything is comprised of energy, and that's what we're feeling. I choose to pay attention when I walk into a room. So I would rather be on than off in that sense. I mean, when I walk into a room, there's just a certain thing that I do. I just, because I'm present.
Oh.
Because I'm not thinking forward. I'm thinking here and I'm thinking now. And if you are not thinking here and thinking now, you're elsewhere.
True.
You're not present.
Yeah.
And that's when you pick up very interesting things. Even with those, I just popped into my head now, those cartoons that they used to have in the Sunday paper that would say, can you spot the 10 differences in these
two pictures?
Yeah.
There's things of that type. I love things like that. I love, once again, mystery and puzzles, and even I don't have a great deal of time these days for things, but like crossword puzzles. And these kind of things are neurologically proven to be healthy for you.
For your brain.
For your brain, yeah. I've
better than Prevagen.
So I'm,
I'm this close to taking Prevagen. Sometimes I'm like,
don't do
why
it.
Why am I not? It's like, why am I forgetting? Why am I forgetting?
Oh yeah. Well, hey, I'm like the same thing. Why did I walk into the kitchen? kind of things like that. And of course, you've got the two glasses on one in your head, and when you're where are my glasses? These kind of things go along with it. But there are things of the quote unquote esoteric world. There are things of the, we'll call it science world. I think we're all looking at things just from different perspectives as we are in life. For example, when I'm doing a program, and I will teach this to people who are in show business or want to be. Let's say that there, just for easy math, there are 100 people in the room, and I'm presenting to them. There are 101 different shows taking place. Every one of those 100 people are watching a different show based on their filter, based on their experience, based on who they are. And of course, I'm seeing it through my
own
eyes.
filter. Yeah.
That's
so I love to look at life like that. And for mysteries, I love this. I don't know. Remember those magic eye paintings?
Yes.
When you look at it,
you blur your eyes and you go into them.
I don't see it. I don't see it. And then you go, oh, I see it.
I see the dinosaur. I see a dinosaur.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Well, to me, every mystery in life is one of those. It makes my life so much easier. So now the voice will say, well, when are you going to see it? I go, when I'm supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
What if you never see it? Then it's not for me.
I love it. I love
What a
it. John,
nice-
give us another one. Let me see. Go ahead. Give us another one.
Look at you. Climb up the
love
coconut
it.
tree. Get me a coconut there. All right.
Yeah.
I love you guys. We'll do a fun one. Yeah. This is Scott, I know you have an excellent imagination.
When I'm awake.
It doesn't take a genius to recognize that. So I would like you to lend me the use of your imagination for just a moment.
Okay.
We're going to start off easy, and then it gets a little more. There's a little more for you to do. I would love for you to imagine that I'm holding 4 playing cards in my hand.
Okie dokie.
It's easy, Scott. You know why?
Because you are?
Yes.
I'm good at this, John. I'm good at this.
You are good, man. So we're gonna up it a notch. I would love for you to imagine that they are the 4 kings from a deck of cards.
Okay.
Oh, now you say okay, but I want for you to take an extra moment there to visualize maybe the beards, the swords, those tacky sweaters that they wear, all of that stuff, so to get a really good image of the club, the heart, the spade, and the diamond. Do you have them, sir?
I do.
Good. Now imagine I'm removing 2 of the same color.
Okay.
I will show them to you. Did I remove the reds or the blacks?
Those look like the reds to me.
Okay.
They're gone.
Gonzo. I'll remove the remaining blacks and ask for you to reach right over towards me and remove 1.
Okie dokie.
You got it?
Now, are we going to play with yours or mine?
Let's play with mine.
Okay. Gonzo. Which one is left?
I have the king of, you want me to tell you the suit?
Yeah.
King of clubs.
You are remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Because the reality and your imagination are totally simpatico if you take a little look.
Oh, man.
Now, there are some people who might say, well, maybe that was some sleight of hand or trigger, the skeptic in the room. So just in case, I actually decided to remove it from a different colored cards. And I was so sure about you, Scott. I was so sure about you. I did not even bother to bring.
Oh, man.
No, that's you, my friend. You got it going on.
I love it. You know who he sounds like? Shatner.
Shatner.
I feel like I'm talking to Shatner.
William Shatner.
Yeah,
really?
I've gotten that in the past.
Listen.
And I love being confused with a guy who's 30 years older than I am. It just makes my day.
It's one of my favorite voices, Shatner. Love him.
I do too. I do too.
So,
and let me tell you something. I invite people to go on all my social medias. It's Jon Stetson. There's a great thing called the Stetson Circle, which is daily affirmation, motivation, confirmation, all these great things. The Stetson Circle on Facebook. Join it. But I do put something. I'm such a student of history and the people on whose shoulders I stand, my influences, my idols. So lots of times when someone from the past it's the remembrance for their birthday, I will say something along the lines of Liberace's 101st birthday, ... act accordingly. And I also, if someone from show business passes, I use the term final curtain, that person's name. And the reason I tell you this is because someone wrote back the other day and said, I hope this doesn't happen soon. But I'm waiting for your post when William Shatner passes. It will say, final curtain, William Shatner, ... overact accordingly.
There's something on the wing.
And I wish him long, happy, healthy life.
I mean, come on.
I've met him. I've read his mind, and we had some great laughs. Wonderful man.
Well, John, you throw these ladies only psychic parties. Tell me about this, because that sounds kind of funky, fresh.
Sounds like a way for you to meet some women, John. That's what it sounds like.
Well, I love meeting everyone. The ladies only psychic party started in 1905. A man named Alexander started it. He was an incredible, somewhat of a questionable character, but he did some great stuff. He toured. Now those shows, he was one of the highest grossing show business act in America, like 1905. He would tour with these big shows, and back then, let's face it, how were these things advertised? Newspaper, a little, but for the most part, it's like the old style circus advertising with beautiful stone lithographs. I have a small collection of these. I have lots of friends who have extensive collections of these. They were pasted up everywhere. And if those performers knew what those posters would sell for, I'll tell you, they would be there. But anyway, let's face it, that was really so you'd be in a small town, in virtually, how many small towns were there back then? Every town was practically a small town.
Was small, yeah.
And including cities, Manhattan, there would be these broadsides, posters of all shapes and sizes, beautiful colors, enticing people to come in to the theater or the show. And they see a fellow in a turban, and they see this mystical kind of stuff that's taking place in these lithographs. And they're like, I've got to see that. It's coming here. So people would come to see these shows, and he was a crystal gazer. People loved it when he'd look into the crystal and talk about various and sundry things. And especially the gals, because let's face it, there was really no place back then for women to go in large groups. And
makes sense.
And
ladies' night out.
Yeah, there was no such thing.
Yeah.
It was a tea party.
As a matter of fact, there was one time when Alexander, who was my grandfather's uncle, he was in the audience and wearing his turban, and he goes, ladies, and he pointed at one person and goes, this is a man, and pulled the wig off, and the dude runs out of the place.
Oh my gosh.
And the women, like, as I used to put it, they threw everything they hadn't already eaten at him as he was going up the aisle. And however, that was his brother Jack, who was sitting in that seat every performance.
That's funny.
To do that little bit over there. But according to family lore, Jack, Doug wearing the dress, so there was no problem.
So, and John, you do these ladies' nights now?
Oh, I do, but I don't have any. I don't have a brother in the audience. But we have. It's what's totally tradition when we say ladies only, because of course now people identify and whatever, and everyone's welcome. But the dynamic of the ladies only, I've been doing this in this program for about 30 years now. It's developed into a beautiful evening where people have self-discovery. They learn about self-limiting beliefs, the things that we had spoken of earlier about not taking things personally, being able to use their intuition to live a happier, healthier life.
That's great.
To get unstuck. But yet we play the games of mind-to-mind contact, and there are moments where people are learning things about themselves, the discovery type of things, readings and whatnot. And it's a real celebration. We
Can you do a mind-to-mind contact with Suki? I've been trying to read her mind for 8 years.
Well, I think she's a little better at reading yours.
I was up by only a couple of numbers, right?
I am so thrilled that we're doing ladies only back at Matar's Bistro in New Jersey Thursday night. Oh. It's going to be wonderful.
Tell us about that.
It's a beautiful venue, and it's a fabulous restaurant in Alamunchee, New Jersey. And I've been there several times before with both ladies only and other programs as well. Our great mutual producer friend Craig Nyer puts all that.
Craig's the best.
Oh, Craig is just he's just one of my nearest and dearest. I love him. I love him so much. And he has been, when he works with a venue, gosh, there's such a personal connection to it, and it's real and it's beautiful, and associated with the Catch a Rising Star folks as well. So we will be there. We will live, love, laugh, and learn together. I think there are very few tickets left because this is our first time back since pandemic.
That's great.
So it is absolutely great. But Suki, in answer to the situation here, I'm going to try something. Now, this is not a trick type of thing, because I have a great, as we saw at the end of my little video there, I'm not afraid to take chances.
Okay.
Because I love to feel the real. And I'll introduce these to folks who are not associated with them. I use them a lot. They are known as the ESP symbols. There's a set of wavy lines. There's a plus, a square, a circle, and a star. Now, these cards are still used in experiments that governments have for remote viewing, things of this type. These are real things that every country has worked through. These actually were developed in the 1920s at Duke University at but for Dr. Zener put these together. Dr. Ryan actually ran a laboratory that tested for people's ability to communicate without speaking, telepathy, clairvoyance, all of this stuff. There were, in the States, we had something called Operation Stargate that lasted for over 20 years, cost about $30 million. And they made a movie of it with George Clooney called Men Who Stare at Goats.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take a little zip into Scott's mind for a second, because I know what you were thinking of another movie, Scott. You were thinking of Ghostbusters, where Bill Murray was using these in those tests of and all that.
Yeah.
There's a parapsychologist.
Venkman. Dr. Venkman.
Yes. But there's one particular guy who uses these a lot, an astronaut, Edgar Mitchell. And he did this on his Apollo missions in his mission time with people on Earth. This is all documented. So when we began doing these things virtually, I said, wow, it's kind of like being in outer space. So this is a fun way to communicate. So, I had sent you a list and photographs of these cards before. you had taken your time and focused. Your focus is now on one of these symbols. So I would love for you just to relax, take a little breath for me. Send me the thought of your symbol. Oh, don't work it too hard. Don't work it too hard. I don't know.
That seemed too easy, Sue.
So what do we got? What were you thinking of?
The little wavy lines.
Of course you were.
Oh, Suki.
Well done, my friend. Well done.
I love it.
That
John,
is kind of crazy.
It is crazy.
I mean, like, you saw me pick it like before the show.
Well, John, where can people find you, buddy?
Well, they can find me online at jonstetson.com. That's Jon. But I do have something for you and all your listeners. I have a gift, and it's a series of assets, we'll call them. One is a guided meditation that I've used, for years. We've sold thousands and thousands of these. They're great for people who have difficult time sleeping, or some people who say, I can't meditate, that kind of thing. It's a guided meditation. That is there. There's another hour-long audio stress management program. There's an ebook called How to Spot a Liar. Very good for a lot of us. There's something on the creative thought process. There's one on persuasive language, which I do use in my work. And there's a copy. There's an ebook for a book that I've just written on a Hawaiian healing practice called Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono.
Yes. Oh, hey, well done. First time around, most people can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
And it is based on it's a healing situation based on forgiveness. It's an ancient practice that was. We should just talk about that one day on the show, because
100%.
it's so incredibly cool. So here's the thing: people could use their phones and text the number 66866. At 66866. It's a 5-digit number, and the message you'll send will be my last name, Stetson, Stetson, and it will show you. You can choose from these different downloads, and they are absolutely free.
Beautiful.
Wow.
John, I'll put that up on the screen when we put the show out. We'll put that up on the screen.
Great.
Thank you, my man.
John,
You're
thank you so
incredible.
much.
John Stetson,
So nice to
ladies
be back
and
with
gentlemen.
you. Looking forward to getting back to Matars to visit everybody there, and we will see you down the road.
John,
We will.
thank you,
Thanks.
buddy.
Thank you so much, John.
And remember,
Pleasure meeting you.
remember, I know what you're thinking.
You do.
Take care,
God
my
bless,
friend.
man. Thanks so very much. So
Bye.
nice.
Thank you very much.
Unbelievable. Wow. Suki, that was amazing.
I was kind of
was
shocked with, like, as he was dropping it, I was like, oh, he doesn't have it. I was like,
How about the wavy lines,
yeah.
the king of clubs? He didn't even
Yeah.
have any other kings in there. Ladies and gentlemen, another unbelievable program. Don't move a muscle. Lots more Suki and Scott show to come. We're coming right back. Do not move a singular muscle. Suk, Jersey City Waterfront Exchange Place Alliance. When I say those words, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
There's a lot of words that come to
Go
mind.
ahead.
Food, family, fun, entertainment, free, easy access.
Oh, baby. Ladies and gentlemen,
I feel like I hit it all.
a couple of weeks ago here on the Suki and Scott Show, we discovered the Exchange Place Alliance down on the Jersey City waterfront. And we've been bringing different aspects, different concepts, those things to you each and every week right here on this fine program. Suk, we've been talking about the amazing restaurants, Jersey City waterfront. We've been talking about the great playgrounds for the kids. We've been talking about the history walk.
The water views.
The water views, the date nights.
Art installations.
Art installations, and everything down there is free. People are getting engaged down there left and right. And I got to tell you, as the weather gets nicer,
Music. I think about music.
more things coming to the Jersey City waterfront. And Suk, Jersey City Jazz Fest is on the way, May 29th, right through June 2nd. Best thing about it,
Absolutely free, everybody.
Yes, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get some of the best musical artists down there. I think it starts on the 29th, right through June 2nd.
Let's get all the details.
It's literally free. I want to bring in the gentleman who's basically in charge of this whole thing. He is the founder. He is the director of Riverview Jazz Festival.
He's a busy man.
Brian Benninghove, ladies and gentlemen, look at this handsome guy, even with the beard, Suki. He looks amazing. Brian, thanks for popping in, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Suki Scott. Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Go ahead,
Brian,
Suki.
you got to tell us all about the Jazz Festival. I mean, this is one of the premier events in the area, and I can't believe it's absolutely free for everybody to listen to live music.
We have so many free events going on throughout the whole week. It's see, this is our 11th year, which is like 50 in jazz years, you know. So it's really killing. And we moved to Exchange Place the whole pedestrian plaza last year, and it's just amazing what we can do down there now. We have 3 stages.
Wow.
We have so many amenities. You can get there any which way you can. If there's wheels on it, you can get there. And it's amazing. So we have 3 stages, a big tented stage. We have so many great artists, food trucks, tons of great drinks. It's really an amazing event, and it's our 11th year, so we are stoked we're still here.
I feel like jazz festivals or festivals of that caliber that's able to aggregate musicians of that caliber really kind of punctuate and put Jersey City and especially Exchange Place Alliance on the map. Your thoughts?
Oh, well, Exchange Place Alliance has just been an awesome partner for years. And what's great is they just want to have a really great party and see things happen. And they're just so amenable to everything that we want to do. And the great thing is they're with all the musicians, they're all right there. And it's so easy for them to come in and do it. And it's really set up to be, I mean, our whole thing is we don't try to push our vision of what music should be. Because a lot of people, if you say jazz to people, they think one person will say, oh, it's Kenny G. The next person says it's Louis Armstrong. The next person says it's, you know, whatever, all over the place. But it's really, you get everybody out there, you hand them a great piece of food and a cold beer, and then we throw a whole bunch of different music over there. We have salsa music. We have Rhapsodian music. We have a lot of vocal jazz, brass bands. So it's really fun. We cast a wide net and throw a big party.
Brian, where can people get more information if they want to know what's going on?
Besides banging on my door, they can go to www.jerseycityjazzfestival.com. We have a number of different passes that'll get you into some different exclusive events. And then we have a number of, you can see all the listing, links to the artists, how to get there, are some of our lodging partners, and all different types of stuff. So please check it out.
It's a huge weekend, everybody. May 29th to June 2nd. Thank you so much for being here. And the thing is, it's absolutely free, everybody.
It's free. Doesn't cost you a dime. Brian, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you. Great being here, guys. Thank you so much.
All right,
Jeffrey, light it up.
Stand by. In 3, 2, 1.
The Suki and Scott Show.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling.
It's musical. It's magical.
Suki and Scott, that's 7 of hearts. Exactly.
This is a sexy show.
Someone's getting some action.
Now, these larger-than-life personalities are on an exciting new journey as they bring you the Suki and Scott Show.
You guys nailed it. You're great. You ask great questions. You listen.
I answered you because I have respect for you guys, and it was a question respectfully put.
The Suki and Scott Show is your one-stop destination for humor,
You like De Niro when Kate appeared. Counselor!
entertainment,
Jesse's girl!
Wonderful.
Can you play with all the colors of the wind?
and optimism.
You guys have such amazing energy.
Ultraviolet light, it gets in there and it just fights the kung flu. Is that right? Okay.
Let's laugh together.
I love him.
The Suki and Scott Show.
That's the best intro for a show I maybe have ever seen. Your intro is fantastic.
Oh, yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Suki and Scott Show number, what, Suk? What are you thinking?
6,555.
Yeah, it could be something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue to roll along. So much to do, so little time. We have got another great show for you guys. We have had so many great shows over the last 4.5 years, Suk. Over 1,000 celebrity guests and performers. And the young lady who's on with us today, Suk. Suk, what did I say to you before we came on the air? I said, Suk, I hate to do this to you. I have a new girlfriend, Susan Rice.
Yeah.
I got to let you go. And I said, and Suki thought I was talking about somebody else.
Susan Richards, his co-anchor.
Yeah, she thought I was talking
in the
about
morning, and I was like, "You think she's going to be okay?"
And I said, she goes. I said she goes a funny old
dirty
bag.
old bag.
No, funny old bag.
Oh, funny old bag.
Funny old bag. And she said, "Do you think Susan's not going to be happy you said that?" I'm like, "Who are you?" We're talking about two different people. And I'm like, no, she goes by funny old bag. Who are you talking about?
I don't know.
I said,
you know, when you have those moments, well, you have lots of moments these years. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We're in the Odyssey Studios, and we've got another great show that's going to help entertain you, make you laugh, have a good moment, you know.
And just for the record, again, you guys think we're kidding when I say nobody knows we're in here. Suki and I sneak in. We throw up the graphics.
I literally sneak in here. I don't even belong here.
Suki and I, she don't even have a pass to be in the building.
I really shouldn't even walk in here.
So we have this amazing studio. If we get interrupted, don't worry. We'll just keep going.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. We throw on some lights, and here we go. Anyway, Susan Rice, Suk, 71 years old.
I cannot believe this.
Funny as can be. She's been doing stand-up for a long time. We're going to talk to her. And yes, she is. She is a dirty old bag because she likes to curse, but she's very funny as well.
You know what's so funny is that, ironically, she started her career at 41 when she was 41 years old.
Right? Yeah, like 1983.
So you sit there and you think to yourself, oh, especially people who've had like several careers, right? What am I going to do now?
Yep.
She really tapped into a part of herself and has really taken it all the way through for the last 30 plus years.
Yeah, and she's still getting up on stage. The audience loves her. Take a look at Susan Rice. And then we'll bring on the other side. Watch this.
Hi! Wow! Wow! I know you're going. Is this Don't Tell AARP? God, it's nice to be here. It's nice that I got up those fucking steps. Honest to God. I'm gonna fluff my hair. My ass looks smaller. I got bad knees. It's a speed dating accident. Yeah, I wasn't fast enough. I've been nervous. You guys are okay though. You're all right. You're looking at me going, didn't I have you for the 3rd grade? Yeah, a couple times. Nice to see you.
You're so good, so fast, Susan. Oh my God. Yes.
Oh God, hi you guys.
Susan,
Hi,
welcome
Susan.
aboard. Well, I see you got some sunshine there on the West Coast, huh?
It just finally came out, and I have to tell you, I just saw a wood chipper come down my alley, and they're going to trim the tree in the back, so we got to make this fast.
We got to make this fast, quick. In and out.
You're going to get a little noise, huh?
Oh my God, I hope not. Anyway, what a great show. I was watching your previous guest, Jon Stetson. What a great... I would not want to date that man, though.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, who'd want to feel?
He knows what you're thinking, Susan.
Like, he's feeling my energy every day. Like, I don't want him to feel my energy.
Yeah, no. Anyway, but yeah,
let me ask you a question. At 71 years old,
I'm actually 72,
and 72
I've been doing stand-up for 41 years.
41 years.
I didn't start when I was 41. I started when I was about 31. It's about 32, 31, 32. Yeah.
Wow. We're not mentalists.
We're not mentalists. No, that's fine. I was just thinking that would make me really old. Anyway.
Do you still get, when you're up there now at this age, you still get the same charge that when you're making those people laugh?
It's gotten better over the years. I was on the road for many, many years, and we were only in 1984, between 84 and 89, there was about 20 women on the road. and the rest were guys. And it was you had to bring it every single time, and just to stay afloat. And yeah, it was a different time, but yeah, now I get the biggest charge because I have a generational, I don't have a generation gap. The kids come up and want me to hug them.
Aw.
You know, they want a grandma hug.
Aw.
And they always ask me, which is much more polite than the guys my age who just come in. But it's nice. Yeah, it's fun that they embrace it. It's surprising, but it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of biopics on comedians in the 80s, and especially women who were trying to break through. And it was just a hard road to sow. Like, it was a hard road. It was a boys club and a boys club only, and there was a few women who were given, shots to succeed. What made you stay in the game, and what made you want to get in the game with all those obstacles that you were facing?
Well, I started out as an actress, and I acted for about 8-9 years and went to college for acting, and which my parents were really happy about. And and I couldn't work in a fast food chain, so because I would have been as big as a house. But I started writing a one-woman show, and Portland was late to the comedy scene. We didn't get into it until '82, and I needed someplace to work my material. And I stepped on stage one night, and I never looked back.
You were
okay. This is where I belong.
Yeah. I mean, I was reading some things about you, and you were out and about on the road with guys like Seinfeld and Kinison.
Oh yeah, I worked with I saved Jerry Seinfeld's ass one night.
Tell me about it.
I picked him up in Seattle. We were supposed to go to do a little goofy show in Tacoma. He had just done his first Letterman. He'd already been on the Tonight Show. He had a following, and we were going into Tacoma to do this show. And I was in I had a Volkswagen, which was his first question. He goes, "I suppose you drive a Volkswagen?" I went, "Yes, I do." Anyway, so we had a Volkswagen, and so I took him to the gig, and we got out, and I think he assumed he was going to be driving back with me back to Seattle, even though I had told him in the car that I was going to be driving back to Portland after the show that night, and that he would be driving with somebody else back to Seattle. He left his man purse in my car. And it had his money and his airline ticket and everything in it. And I got halfway out. I got out of Tacoma, and I stopped to get gas and reached for my purse, and I found it. And he's already been off stage, and they were on their way home. And I had to drive back through 80 miles an hour through Tacoma, trying to find the car that he was in.
Oh my gosh.
Luckily, I had a Volkswagen, so if he saw me coming, and that's what happened. I was checking my rearview mirror to check to see if anybody had noticed. I was going so slow.
That's wild.
At me like crazy leaving the venue. And there was Jerry Seinfeld plastered against the Chevy Capri or something, going, "No!" So I pulled over, and he pulled over, and he said, "Oh my God, you saved my life. Anything I can do for you." And I said, "Okay, I'll remember that."
So I can't believe you slept with Jerry Seinfeld. That's amazing.
No,
I'm just kidding.
He would have wrapped me in foil and plastic. Anyway.
But the crazy thing is that, no cell phones back then. So it's amazing you found him.
No. And yeah, it was horrible. And yeah, it was great. And I ran into him. I got my first national television show, and somebody kept bumping me off the stage every time I went to do my set. And by the third time, I asked the club owner, I go, "Who the hell is bumping me off this stage every flipping time?" And he goes, "Oh, Seinfeld's doing a show." So I went, "Oh, okay. All right." So I ran into him at the Improv, and I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, remember me? Saved your ass. Stop bumping me off the shows. and he apologized. He goes, I'm so sorry. I go, why don't you ask? Anyway, so he was very, he stopped bumping me.
That's good.
Susan, I'm so sorry.
Susan, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he recognized me. He did recognize me. He went, oh my God, yes. I went, yeah.
And what about Kinnison? What is your memories of him?
You met Kinnison too?
Kinnison, I worked with early on before he had really hit. He was hitting. He had his own crowd, but Kinnison was a Houston comic, and Sam was a character. He actually got canceled, is what the kids would call it now. He got he went over the line at a club in Houston one night, and they said, "Okay, you're banned."
Wow!
And the next night, he tied himself to a post outside the door and crucified him. Had the guys wrap him in. And he actually hung like Jesus on his cross. He was crazy. But I worked with him in Houston right after Stevie Ray Vaughan's funeral. Sam called and said he wanted the room. And I was working the Laugh Stop there and with another comic. And so the owner asked us if we would open for him. And we could choose the show. He was going to come in and take the room. And everybody from Stevie Ray Vaughan's memorial was flying up from Austin. I mean, everybody. I mean, there was basketball teams, there ZZ Top, there was all these musicians that were coming up for the show. And the headliner that I was working with chose the first show, and I laughed. I went, "Are you sure you want the first show?" Because Sam was notorious for getting off stage 20 minutes after he went on because he had stuff to do.
Yeah.
And I knew the second show was going to be the prime show. And Sam came up to me and he goes, "Did you get the second show?" And I said, "Yeah, I took the second show. The headliner wanted the first show." He said, "Good." So he said, "Now I know I can stretch." So I had to do, they had to put the checks out during my set for Sam's show because he had walked the first audience. He'd walked on the first audience and the club hadn't collected the checks yet.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
So anyway, there's all this, and so
he's insane. He was insane.
Sam was,
God bless him, right?
He was a completely different person than people thought he was. He was very kind. He was a very kind man and considerate. And it was a shame what happened. Really, he was cleaning his life up, and it was a big loss to comedy when Sam died.
Yeah, no, I used to listen to him on Howard Stern all the time, and he was, amazing. Of course, and Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
And
he was just brilliant. He was really
great.
smart,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, listen, Susan, I wanted to show Suk another bit you were doing about a guy who was trying to help you out on the side of the road. Jeff, throw up this clip real quick of Susan.
I had to call the AAA guy. The starter went out. And I called the AAA guy. The AAA guy comes, pulls up, he gets out of the car. He's about 6'4". He weighs about 120. So I know if she goes down, I can take him. Oh, yeah? He says, "What seems to be the problem?" I said, "It's the starter." He goes, "Okay, I'll get the jumper cables." No, it's the starter. He goes, "Yeah, I'm going to jump you." Well, thanks for the offer. But I'm not paying off one more student loan.
You know what? It seems like you play even older when you're on stage. Is that true? Like you play even an older woman?
First of all, that was a horrible hair day. It was raining in Santa Barbara so bad, and it was so humid. I have a really bad knee. I mean, it's really true. I had just had and when that clip was shot on January 20th of this year, I was getting ready for a knee surgery in February. And I have 2 really bad knees, and I've had them for a very long time. I've had knee problems since I was 11. But so my stance appears to be a lot more crippling than, it should be. But yeah, I think it works for me. I don't mind.
Definitely.
You get to a certain point, and what are you going to do?
It doesn't matter anymore, does it?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It doesn't matter.
And it doesn't, I came up with funny old bag because when I retired from my day job, I did 2 jobs for 18 years. Because I needed health insurance, obviously. And but I had one of those wonderful jobs that just said, go. If you need to go, go. And so I was able to still do the road.
Yeah, where did
you work?
Working?
What was the job that said if you need to go, go?
It was for Hannah Anderson's children's clothing company.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I worked for them for 18 years. They're a Portland company. And
wow, I didn't know they were a Portland company. Okay.
Yeah. My best friend was one of the people that was basically in charge of putting the call center together. And when she hired me, I said, "You can't put me in a store." And she said, "No, I'm not putting you in a store, because this'll say, this'll say, 'Hi, how are you?' But this won't say that. This will say, 'You should probably drop dead.'" Anyway, so I was on the phones for 18 years.
What was it like for a Portland girl to live in LA and then go through the whole LA scene and the comedy scene there?
Well, let me just preface it. What you see now is 90 pounds lighter than I was my whole life.
Wow. Congratulations.
I was a big gal. And I came into LA just as Roseanne and Rosie O'Donnell were making their move into LA. And there was 3 fat girls in town. And basically that was us. And I was up for everything. We were up against each other all the time. And they were, Rosie O'Donnell is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And she was much younger and she wasn't real big. But once Roseanne hit, because I'd known Roseanne in Denver, I knew all the Denver comics. And it was hard. I did work a lot, though. I got a lot of work and comedy wise, but I couldn't break that mold of commercial work and stuff like that. I couldn't. It was hard in LA for big girls.
Susan, I love in that show that we were just watching, because I watched the whole bit on YouTube. Just give Suki a little insight to when you finally were able to take your COVID mask off back in the day when the pandemic.
Oh well, she'll see, Suki's beautiful, and she has dark hair, and trust me, she probably has 2 or 3 hairs that come in on her chin every month. And she just plucks them right out because she's still young and pretty and young, and it comes right out. But boy, Suki, when you get older, honey, you're going to need the needle nose pliers to get those suckers out. Those are just, they are, I mean, honest to God, I didn't groom during COVID. Did you groom? Hell no.
I don't think anybody groomed during COVID.
Nobody did anything. And so when I went to do my first show, it was like, oh my God.
It was like the first time.
Oh my God.
Everything. It was the first time for everything.
Beard. I had a neck beard. It was long. It was terrible. Made me question my pronouns. It was just horrible. It was just, and I lost my upper lip. I don't know where the hell that went, but it's gone. And now I have to draw it on. It's grooming was not.
It's fun aging, isn't it? Isn't it? Men don't get a pass on all that, but for women, boy, we really have to hold on to everything.
Well, yeah, I think men have to watch their ear hair.
Yeah, yes.
Their ear hair, their nose hair.
The nose
yeah,
hair,
that's about it.
Yeah.
You know,
the
and if they just get tired of shaving, they just stop shaving. You know. But honest to God, I mean, I pulled one out and I could have pulled it all the way down here. This is how long that hair was. It was just, and it hurt. It hurt to pull it out. It really hurt. I thought my left breast would go up about 2.5 inches every time I tucked on it. Like, Jesus, Joseph, Mary, and Pat.
Susan,
And yes, I do cuss, Scotty.
I love it. I love it.
It's, you know, I'm not dirty.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is I'm not dirty. People my age and people that came through the 60s and 70s, you know, it was question authority. That was our motto. And it was kind of like, I get called on that. And once I get called on it by, not by you, but by, you know, I have had male club owners go, well, she's dirty. I go, I'm not dirty.
No.
I use the language. I use all the words.
Yeah.
I know all the words.
Yeah. But it's even, you know, it's even funnier when you do it, when you're up on stage, because you're not expecting
it to come from you.
That to come out of you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my mother's in her 80s, and you know, she still curses up a storm when she's PO'd at somebody, or she's MNFer and blah blah blah. Susan, do you have a lot of doctor's visits like she does? You go to the doctor often?
I love going to the doctor. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? I was an independent contractor for so many years off and on. And it was like, they actually asked me to stop calling for appointments every week. They did. I said, but I know there's something wrong. Something's got to be growing in there. I've been on the road. I had the virtual doctor's appointments were the ones that killed me. I hated those. When we first had through COVID, I had my first one. I'm not good with computers. I'm not great. And I kept checking the machine, which is old people for computer. I kept checking the machine because I was afraid I was going to screw this up. You guys, I took a shower and put makeup on. I'm at my house. Why? I mean, so anyway, I kept checking the
telehealth appointment. You're sick. You're supposed to be sick.
I was crazy. I wasn't. I mean, we were just doing this little check-in thing, but I was thinking, oh my God, I should look okay. And so I got that. Got my makeup on. I got ready to go. 30 seconds before, I'm not lying. 30 seconds before this appointment, I didn't feel like I was going to the doctor. So I took my pants and my panties off and I folded them on a chair and I put paper towels down. And now I'm
laying on the paper.
And now I'm at the doctor. Now I felt like I was at the doctor, you know. And she kept talking about that I had to have my last pap smear. And I'm thinking, sweet Jesus, we can't do this today because I'm on a desktop. So take me 20 minutes to get my legs up there. Anyway.
Over the webcam.
So anyway, yeah.
You did this bit about adopting animals too, which is really funny.
Oh, my sweet cake. Yeah. Do you have animals? You guys have animals?
Yeah, we both do.
Well, she's got a dog.
I've got a dog.
I had a dog passed a couple of years ago, but Soup's got a beautiful little
guy. He's a Bolognese.
Yeah.
His name is
Cute,
Leo.
white as cotton.
Oh, I can't have a white animal. I drop too much stuff, usually on the animal.
It's so funny when I'm cooking. I'm like, you know, and all of a sudden I'll see a little sauce on him, and I'm like, oh my God, I dropped a little food on Leo.
I had a white cat during the years I was dyeing my hair, and
wasn't white.
I love it.
And I just went, well, it'll come out sooner or later.
Susan, do you have plans? Do you touring at all? You're just working around the area? Like, where do you normally do your shows?
Well, okay, let's just talk about this. 41 years in the business, and all of a sudden, my career seems to have just exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Social media helps too.
Social media.
Well, that's it. From this video, 3 days after they dropped the Don't Tell video, I got contacted by AGT.
Wow.
And when they asked me if I wanted to do the season, they were almost done with the season at this time. And they said, we can try to squeeze you in, but would you do next year? And I said, I'm 72. I don't do anything. I don't.
It's a year.
I don't book out past Tuesday. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is no. So I did. They did get me in, and I did.
Wow.
I auditioned in front of the celebrity judges.
Wow.
On the 5th of April, which was the third show from the last, and they start their shows, start airing those audition pieces the 28th of this month, next week.
Oh, wow.
So,
good luck.
So you're going to be on.
I'm going to be, I think they'll show my audition piece because I'm such a character. There was some great banter between.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm
the
looking forward
judges.
to that.
Can't wait. We love AGT. So
Yeah.
yeah.
We've
So
had so many people from that show have been on, and singers, magicians, comedians, been great.
I felt like such a sham compared to, I mean, there was people balancing other humans on their face.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
It's like there was flaming bunnies coming out of people's bottoms. It's like, I just talk. I don't, but, so touring, yes. I'm trying to put that together. This is all kind of new to me. And so I'm so grateful that of all the followers and all the I get the sweetest messages from people on Instagram and on my TikTok and on, and honest to God, you guys, it's the kids and the older women that have just lifted my spirits and told me that I'm absolutely where I'm supposed to be because
it's great.
They
just keep posting up, and you'll have 1 million followers before you know it.
I got to learn how to do all that. So
I know.
You got to hire a 15-year-old to help it.
I've redone a whole website that's going live this week. I finally had to hire a gal I said, I don't know how to do
it's
this.
a lot.
That's great. It's great.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? You're talking about AGT before I let you go.
Yeah. No.
We had who was it? Tom Cotter, the comedian, was on with us recently.
What a great guy. He won. He won it.
No. He was in the finals and he
didn't win
lost to the dog.
He lost to a dog.
He lost to a dog.
Well, a dog act won last year too.
Yeah. And it's so funny the way he tells the story, and he's like, I lost to a dog.
I know. It was like, when I first heard the buzzer that they used to buzz people off, I was backstage doing an interview, and I heard the buzzer, and honest to God, I almost wet myself. It was so loud. I thought I was going to die. And I asked them, I go, what the hell was that? And they said, oh, that's the buzzer. And I went, oh, they're not going to buzz me.
They don't give you a heart attack.
Well, my producer goes, well, if you get the buzzer, you have to go on. And I said, no. 41 years in the business, they give me the buzzer. I'm not going anywhere, but they're going to get the television they never knew that they were going to get.
Love it.
I love it.
Because I don't take that crap.
I love it.
Susan, thank you so much. When is that episode? When do you say that's
I don't know. They'll notify me about 2 weeks ahead of time. Again, it's going to be later in the summer, probably end of June, maybe first part of July. Maybe even later than that, because I was the third show from the last.
Great. Well, when this new fame takes you into the New York area, please let us know, okay?
Oh, you guys, I want to come to New York so bad. I've been once, and I'd like to come back.
Yeah, no, it's great. Susan, thank you so much.
Thank you for asking me. This is so sweet.
Thank you.
So much.
And listen, you keep hammering away. You'll make it one day, kid.
I know. I'm just going to keep in it until I can get it right. That's all.
You're fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye, Susan.
Susan
Thank you.
Rice, everybody. Funny old bag, Sue.
Funny old bag.
Not dirty old bag.
Yes. But
funny old bag.
She's not dirty. She just uses the words.
No.
That could be surprising, but they're great.
Surprising and effective. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, another great show. Susan Rice. You're going to be seeing a lot more of her. Trust me. We got more to do. Stick around. Don't move a muscle. We're coming right back.
And what I'm doing is I'm covering his song called Suki. Suki, Baya Suki. Hey, Suki, Suki. Na Baya Suki. Woo! Yeah, yo. Y'all gonna like this. You're gonna like this song when I come out with it. Watch.
That's right, excellent. So count it down and I'll run her up again. In
The Suki and Scott Show.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling.
It's musical. It's magical.
Suki and Scott, the Seven of Hearts. Exactly.
This is a sexy show.
Someone's getting some action.
Now, these larger-than-life personalities are on an exciting new journey as they bring you the Suki and Scott Show.
You guys nailed it. You're great. You ask great questions. You listen.
I answered you because I have respect for you guys, and it was a question respectfully put.
The Suki and Scott Show is your one-stop destination for humor,
You like De Niro and Cape Fear. Counselor.
entertainment,
Jesse's girl.
Wonderful.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
and optimism.
You guys have such amazing energy.
Ultraviolet light, it gets in there and it just fights. It just fights the kung flu. Is that right? Okay.
Let's laugh together.
I love him.
The Suki and Scott Show.
That's the best intro for a show I maybe have ever seen. Yeah, your intro is fantastic.
Because I'm free.
Free fall.
Free falling. Come on, Suki.
I remember when that CD came, when that album came out. Remember when we were in college, we'd have to get like the CDs for like a penny?
Yeah. You get 10 CDs for a penny from something house.
Columbia Records.
Columbia Records.
Or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
I think it was Columbia Records.
And then
was
they'd suck you in for the penny, and then it was like they blast you.
Hey, that was my biggest client for years.
Columbia House?
The Columbia House Audio and Video Club.
That's funny.
And yeah, it was funny because when I was in grade school, we would always, have that, and we put somebody else's name with our address on it. And of course, nobody would pay. What I found out later on, by the way, was the amount of people who actually, got the 12 CDs for a penny and then, didn't pay. It was a write-off. It was a write-off.
But wasn't that always like in the back of the TV guide or something? Where was that?
Well, it was a blow card. They can call it a blow card. They insert it inside the TV guard, so it fell out.
Yeah.
Right, it blew out into your lap.
Okay, look at it.
Hey, now you know what a blow card is.
Yeah. Oh, like, yeah.
Hey, Suki, here's my blow card. Can I turn this in?
They called it. It's now some antiquated, obsolete direct response mail lingo.
Yeah. A blow card. Unbelievable.
Thank you, Jeff, for that.
Oh, thank you, Jeffrey.
For that trivia.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, singing a little Free Falling because we got a group called
The Premiere.
The Waiting.
Yeah.
Because the waiting is the hardest part, as you know. And these guys are literally the best. You talk about Tom Petty tribute bands. Not only Tom Petty, they sing a whole bunch of other stuff, but they focus on Tom Petty. And when you listen to these guys, they sound just like him.
Close your eyes.
She was an American girl. Was that Last American Virgin? Was in the movie. She was an American girl.
American Werewolf.
I think no. American Girl was in the Last American Virgin.
Was it?
You've never seen Last American Virgin?
No.
Have you seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
That I have seen.
That you've seen.
That I've
seen. If
you
didn't, I was going to throw you out of the room.
American Virgin, I have not seen.
Last
is that
American
part of
Virgin.
like? Is that like part
that
of
came out?
Is that part of the Porky series?
Yeah, in the 80s.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think I was like 10 or 11.
So I was 14. Anyway, in honor of these guys coming on today, Sue, I put together a little classic rock lyrics quiz.
Wow.
Just for you. because I know you love
oh my gosh.
the lyrics quizzes. So before we bring on the waiting and two of the fellas from the group, I'm going to give you, Sue, you should go 5 for 5.
I should go for 5 for 5?
Yes. So if I were to say, and it's all classic rock, all right? So if I were to say to you, streetlight people living just to find emotion.
Yeah, Steve Perry and the Boys, Foreigner. Not Foreigner. I mean, Journey.
You said that with such conviction. Steve Perry and Foreigner.
No. Steve
Living
Perry.
just
Journey.
to find emotion.
Journey.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Should I give you this one in
Did you see this?
in Shatner?
Oh, you want to, don't do it in the Shatner because it always throws me off. Go ahead.
Ain't no doubt about it. We were doubly blessed.
Oh. Going at the middle at the end of the night. Oh my God, the chubby guy. What's his name?
That would be Meatloaf. Hold on tight. Oh, come on.
Hold on tight.
Though it's cold
Yeah,
and
Meatloaf.
lonely.
Yeah,
but
Meatloaf.
what's the name of the song?
Meatloaf.
That's the-
Deep dark night. I could see paradise by the dashboard lights.
Nicely done.
Do
You're
you know
on
the
a
first
roll.
time I actually heard that song?
You were in the back of a car?
No, it was.
Before we
like
go
in
any
college.
further, do you love me?
I don't know why they never played that on the radio. Back in the
Meatloaf?
day.
Always.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That was a good song
They
for
didn't play it on Staten Island.
That was a good song for DJs to go to the bathroom at that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you put on Meatloaf. Good 4.5 minutes.
Okay.
All right, you ready for this one, Sook? Mama, I don't want to die.
Queen.
Nicely
Yeah,
done.
that's it. There's only
Sometimes wish I'd never been born at all.
So good. That I know.
What's the name of the song?
Mama.
Nope.
I don't know.
You don't know the name of that song,
Mama
Suki?
just killed a man. God, I guess
It's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Whatever.
That
Yes.
the words aren't in the song.
It is it?
It's just Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
You may be a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. You may say I'm a dreamer,
Oh,
but
it's
I'm
John
not
Lennon.
the only
Imagine.
one. Nicely done. 2 more. We are programmed to receive. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave.
Program to receive. Oh, Pink Floyd, Off the Wall. Isn't that Pink Floyd? No.
Well, first of all, Pink Floyd and Off the Wall is Michael Jackson.
Okay.
You're thinking Pink Floyd,
No,
The Wall.
The Wall. Whatever.
Michael Jackson was Off the Wall, but
yeah.
this isn't either one of them.
So confused.
We are programmed to receive.
Is it
You
Rush?
can check out any time you
Oh
like.
my God, it's the Eagles.
You can never leave.
Hotel California. Oh my God.
Okay, and this one you're gonna get. You ready?
Okay.
Suki,
Because I'm doing so well.
I got my first real 6-string. Bought it at the Five
Got
and
my
Dime.
first string, whatever, 6 string.
Oh, and at the Five and
Ryan
Dime.
Adams.
Played it till my fingers.
bled. I did think I did pretty well.
You're okay.
Listen, I was sort of on the new age tip.
That's
You
so
know what I
funny.
mean?
These are all
So,
classics, though.
I get it, but like,
Even at this age, you gotta know.
I do. I gotta know.
Ladies and gentlemen, the boys from The Waiting coming up. Unbelievable Tom Petty tribute band. Take a
I'll
look.
tell that to all my friends that we used to like listen to The Cure and Susie and the Banshees. Okay.
Have your son watch Last American Virgin.
All right, I will.
Bring him in on the other side. Here's The Waiting. Take a look.
Hey there, rock and roll fans. Are you ready for some Petty? We are The Waiting from Bozeman, Montana, and we celebrate the music of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Whether you're a diehard Petty fan or just discovering the magic of Tom Petty's music, The Waiting guarantees an unforgettable night of rock and roll. The Waiting has been celebrating the music of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers all over the Pacific Northwest for the past decade. We would love to bring the Petty to your state or county fair, to your community festivals, your block party, your corporate jamboree, or a rock and roll casino night. So, talent buyers, event coordinators, venue bookers, or just diehard Petty fans, The Waiting is booking 2024 and beyond. For booking information and availability, reach out to Ian Watts at Atomic Music Group. The Waiting, keeping the legacy of Tom Petty alive, one electrifying performance at a time.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. There they are.
Wait, so Chris and Doc, what was that movie? What was the name of the movie?
Last American Virgin, right? American Girl?
Well, the movie that I remember is Silence of the Lambs.
Right before
you know what?
Buffalo Bill abducts at the very beginning.
Okay.
It's playing on the radio.
Yes, that you know what? You're right. You're right. But I think in Last American Virgin is also she's an American girl, if I'm not
You
mistaken.
see, now I never actually saw that movie.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh,
Thank
Chris.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Someone from my
I
age
didn't
group
know there
is
was a
speaking up
Last
and saying,
American
Doc, please tell me you saw the movie.
I think it was during the Showtime shenanigans when they would do the kind of the off-color, you get Showtime at home and you should be in bed, but really you're playing the kind of risque thing.
yes, it's
like
10
watching
o'clock. Do you know where your
Aerobicides?
children are?
Anybody
Unbelievable.
remember that show on cable TV in New York?
Fast Time.
Aerobicize?
Which one?
Aerobicize.
Aerobicize.
Yes.
All these really good-looking people
Manhattan.
stretching
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody's in bikinis working out.
That's right.
I remember
As you
it
do.
well.
You remember those times.
I remember. The only
those
thing
were the
you couldn't
good
hit
old
pause
days.
back in those days, so it was worthless.
I
For
thought
you.
it was with spandex, though. A lot of spandex, wasn't it?
There was a lot of
Chris
spandex.
Gillette, Doc Wiley, guys, how you doing? Thanks for coming on today.
Great.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you for
us.
having us.
So let's set the geography here. Both of you guys are in Bozeman, Montana.
That's right.
That's right.
Wow.
Wow.
And,
This is from a bunch of New Yorkers.
yeah,
looking at us. We're
listen,
just like,
we hear Bozeman. I
wow.
think Kevin Costner in Yellowstone.
Yeah. Well, it's
You're not
just so
necessarily
you know,
wrong.
it's supposed to snow 5 inches here today.
Oh, you got snow today?
We're supposed to get 5 inches of snow today.
That's unbelievable. Wow.
It's like 85 degrees
85
and sunny.
Yeah.
Well,
We're here on
we
this-
don't cling to hope when it comes to spring around here.
That is wild. So how do you guys all get together
In Montana.
in Montana? How does this group get formed?
Well, Doc
Well,
is the one that can answer that one.
Yeah, so I moved here about 15 years ago from South Beach.
Wow.
Florida, and used to work in the industry down there. I worked at Island Records, stuff like that, and just got tired of the rat race and moved up to what I call the source. Sometimes I jokingly say I woke up, shipwrecked on the Bridgers, which is the mountains near us, and then I just love the community and stuff like that. I was on the other side of the bell curve in my career, and the other thing that was kind of cool that for years I working at Ireland, my boss was good friends with Will Lee, David Letterman bass player.
Oh yeah. Will. Yep.
So we went to dinner with him in the Bowery, and we went to his apartment afterwards, and he was telling me, hey, I have this idea of creating a really great Beatles band with great musicians from all over New York. And as I was listening to him, I was going, I would do that with Tom Petty, you know? And so when I got up here, I happened to be friends with one of the premier independent music stores, selling instruments and Gibsons and stuff like that, and who happened to be an amazing drummer. And I told him about my Tom Petty thing. He helped me, gather up kind of our versions of Petty Avengers of all kind of like very established musicians. And we try to put it together, that type of deal. And what I always say is that we don't kind of do like Beatlemania, something like that. It a little more like a Shakespeare troupe. You don't go, hey, we're doing a tribute to Shakespeare tonight. You do your version of King Lear or something like that. So we do the canon in very kind of, what if the best musicians you knew kind of got together and played the canon of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. So that's
cool.
the way you approach it. So
I like that philosophy.
100%. And Chris, you're a lawyer.
Lawyer by day.
A lawyer by day, an Avenger, a Tom Petty Avenger by night.
That's right.
You're the lead of the Tom Petty.
Well, I am the Tom Petty of the Tom Petty stuff, right? So of course I look just like him, as you can tell. No, I joke about that because people call us a tribute band, and we're not really a tribute band because I don't put on a wig and try and look like Tom Petty. but we do Tom Petty the way we want to do Tom Petty. We all bring our own little flavor to it. So
and you're a New York boy who's in Bozeman, Montana. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know how I got here. I just sort of ended
Did you
up
take
here.
what train? What line did you take?
got on the wrong Hudson line, and where the heck am I? So yeah, no, I actually I lived in Seattle for a number of years. I've been here in Montana for about 20 something years.
Wow.
Grew up on the Upper West Side. My mom is still there. She's an actress there, which is another weird Tom Petty connection because I've always loved Tom Petty, but she was in She's the One, the movie with Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
And of course that's an all Tom Petty soundtrack. So
wow.
Yeah, so she's very proud.
Oh,
she's the one with Jennifer. Who was the male lead? Was that with what's his name? Freddie Prinze Jr.?
No.
Who am I thinking of?
I have to look it up.
You know what? I'm embarrassed to say that I've only seen it once, and that was a long time ago.
She's the one with with Aniston?
Jennifer Aniston, yeah.
Check that out, Sue.
Yeah.
Our crack research department is
there we go.
Into it.
I hope my mom doesn't see this because she'd be like, "What? You didn't know?"
Yeah, you leave it to a mom. Oh, it was Edward Burns.
Oh, Edward Burns. Okay.
Ed Burns. Like, talk about a guy from Queens, New York. Ed Burns.
Yeah.
Ed Burns and Jenna Aniston.
I became very starstruck when I met his mom. When I went, oh, she's the lady that used to be Quincy's girlfriend.
That's right. She was Quincy's wife. She was Quincy's wife. She's kind of a
medical examiner back in the 70s.
Oh my God!
Wait, Jack Klugman, Quincy?
Yeah.
Her name's just to get it out there. Her name's Anita Gillette. So look her up. She's
Anita Gillette. I'm looking up Anita Gillette right now.
There you go. There's the crack research team.
All right, here we go. Anita Gillette. We're putting it up right now.
Yeah.
This is Anita Gillette. In post-production, we'll have her up there in just a little
Jeff
bit.
knows.
I remember her well. Actually, she was also, I believe, a regular on many of the game shows.
She was. And every once in a while, we'll run into somebody having dinner who won money with my mom.
I remember her. Yes.
Anita Gillette.
Hi, Anita. When you watch this, we'll say hello.
She was very popular. She had a lot of TV roles too, right?
She did. And she was a Tony nominee for Chapter 2. Did a lot of Neil Simon on Broadway, and
I might have seen her on Broadway. Wow, that's incredible. See,
that's great.
That's what's great about the show. You always have things that come up. Never would have thought. These guys. They're a band. They're actually fine.
Out of Bozeman, Montana.
She was in Law and Order Special Victims Unit, Shaken Up, Modern Family, Blue Bloods, Elementary. I mean, wow. This is crazy. Your mom.
Yeah, my mom's kind of a big deal.
Oh, he gets his talent, legitimately. It's,
and you moved to Bozeman.
And
right.
Yeah, and I moved to Bozeman. Yeah, she will not set foot in Bozeman. She's
why?
Well, okay, so I shouldn't say that. She was here for my son's wedding 2 years ago, but she focused very heavily on the fact that it was an outdoor wedding, and there were goats and there was goat poop everywhere, and she was absolutely appalled. She's a dyed-in-the-wool New Yorker.
Yes.
No question. She does not leave unless she has to go to London or something.
Love it.
My wife she's bugging me to get out there to Montana.
Oh,
She
you'd
wants
love
the whole
it.
Yellowstone experience.
It's beautiful out here. Yeah, come on out. It's
I can
a
imagine.
welcoming community. There's a lot to do here, both indoors and outdoors. I think the perception is that it's kind of just all cowboys, but it's not. There's actually, as my mother would say, culture. There's culture.
There's culture here.
When you guys are doing the Tom Petty songs, I have to imagine it's probably people who are all are 40 and above. And they probably know, they probably know all the words, and you guys are probably up there feel like you're rock stars because they're probably all singing along with you, right?
I'd like to chime in on that. I was surprised. We've been doing this for 10 years now, and I'm always surprised. It's about half. So it's about half 40 and above, and 20 up.
Really? Younger?
And because it's the music of their parents. So they'll come out and sing along just as hard. You know, nothing's better than we get. Often we'll get emails going, "My voice is hoarse" from singing along, because he's had somewhere there around 35 top 10 hits over the years.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times people go, "Oh, I forgot that." Like we do Boys of Summer, which is a Tom Petty song, but Mike Campbell wrote it. So we'll throw that out there. The guitar player in the Heartbreakers wrote that song for Don Henley.
Don Henley, yeah.
Don Henley.
But you would think that all of a sudden people are dancing and singing and screaming, and free falling. We do a thing where we have everybody sing along, and there's a video of us doing a street party, and there's 5,000 people screaming, free falling at us. It's amazing.
and you can't forget the Traveling Wilburys either. You can't forget that whole aspect of his life.
Yeah, you got so many to pick.
I mean,
now, do you guys go deep cuts or mostly the hits?
We do. We were lucky enough, since Chris has been involved with the band for almost 4 years now. And the moment that kind of leveled us up. And then recently in January, we had a PBS episode of 11th and Grant do a whole episode featuring The Waiting. And we were able to do some really great deep cuts. We really kind of went into the studio and worked on it, and then went in there and just had such a great time. And not many bands like us get to do a PBS episode.
No way. I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
and Doc, you're a musician in your own right. I mean, like, you've worked with some of the greats. You kind of talked about your life in South Florida, but Prince.
Yeah,
being
right.
one of them.
Prince. Who else was on there? I think we saw. Whitney Houston. You too. You worked with all those folks, right?
What the heck? What was that like? I mean, that was like that's like the genre that I love, I gotta say.
Well, I worked hard and had some luck. You got to prepare, and then sometimes if you're ready, you get lucky. Engineer and producer and musician, and that's what I've done as songwriter as well. But I engineered Whitney. But I worked on the City of Angels soundtrack.
Wow.
With Bono and the boys, and it was really amazing. Bono got me coffee in the middle of the
I don't even know what that's like.
Which Doc and his coffee obsession, that's kind of a tall order to meet.
But no, it's I've been I was on staff at Island Records, a place called the Marlin Hotel, South Beach Studios. I was there for about 5 years, and that really kind of kicked off my career. And so that's where I got to work with Prince and U2, Christina Aguilera, and all of those dignitaries, in those situations. And like I said, it just got to the point where I worked with a really amazing Latin artist and got a Grammy nomination and a Grammy with him, a Willie Chino, a non-Spanish speaking kid. Got a Grammy working in Latin music, and got to work with Arturo Sandoval and all of that on those records. So I've got to do a lot of that type of stuff. And my love is American songwriting, and it was actually, I hate to kind of name drop a little bit, but I'm friends with Barry Gibb's son, Stephen Gibb. And after I had worked on a little record that he sampled, he heard, and he goes, and I was up for a really kind of fancy Latin record to work on and stuff like that. And he goes, "Well, do you want to do this, or do you want to do, this Americana songwriter thing, or do you want to do, another, Latin record, or that might be up for another Grammy?" And he goes, "Grammys don't come with checks." And 2 years later, I'm in Montana. So that's how that went.
So true.
Chris, as the Tom Petty of the group, which is the song that you feel like you fine-tuned the best?
I fine tune the best. You know, it's actually it's funny you were asking about, you know, kind of deep cuts, and one of the songs that we do is off the Mojo album called sorry, I lost the name of it. Swinging. And there's something about that song that I identify with, and it sort of hits my Tom Petty voice. You know, I kind of channel my inner Tom Petty on that song, because he sings kind of from like this weird part of his cheek. So it sounds like kind of like that kind of overtone to it. And that song just fits great with my voice. So
you give us like 30 seconds of it. How's it go?
Oh, geez. I knew you were going to put me on the spot. All right. She was standing by the highway in her boots and silver spurs, gonna hitchhike to the yellow moon when a Cadillac stopped for her. And he said, hey, nice to meet you. Are you going my way? Yeah, that's when it happened. Well, the world caught fire that day. And she went down swinging. That's it. There.
I love it. That was good, man. That was good.
Everybody in your office is now going to start being like, what is going on?
What the hell is going on in there?
It was funny about that. He kept like almost for like 6 months. He was like, we got to play swinging. And I was like, it's, you know, and so finally we played it, and now it's, you know, it's in the top 3 songs when we play in the evening. Yeah. It's just a fun song to play.
I love it. I love it. And when we go back and before we send it out to USA Today and everything, I'll put in some more videos of you guys in between us talking, and you know, some stuff of you guys on stage,
performing on stage, if you could do that. But Doc, I was curious, what was it, and you too, Chris, what was it that brought you, like, what was it about Tom Petty, out of all the musicians out there?
Yeah.
What is it about Tom Petty that you felt like, all right, this is our person, and this is the wheelhouse that we're going to work with?
Well, I mean, I can tell you that, like, I've always just loved Tom Petty's music, and that I've identified with it, and my kids identify with it. I have grandchildren now, and my daughter, I remember singing while she was in Free Fallin', while she was sitting in a car seat in the back.
Wow.
And she just loved that song so much, and she actually, I think until just recently, thought that I wrote that song. I might have told her that at one point. You know, and it just sort of stuck. So it's just always been part of, you know, the music that I love and identify with. And I think that's one of the amazing things about his music, is that, you know, some of the lyrics are pretty broad in terms of their ability to like connect with people, but they connect in different ways, because it's not like his story that he's telling. He's telling sort of an open-ended story that people put their interpretation into, and that's why it connects with so many people on such a personal level, because at some point it becomes a story about something that's important to them, even though that may not have been what Mr. Petty actually intended when he wrote the song. So that's one of the things that I love the most about his music. And speaking of, you know, connecting with younger generations, I think just recently, Love Is a Long Road was like a huge reborn hit because of Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
Whatever the heck it is. So,
and now we open up
with that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Now we open up with that song. I think from my perspective, being kind of, you know, in business that way, that to me, he's the ultimate American songwriter, because, you know, Southern roots, the thing about Southern songwriting is that they have blues, American blues, they'll have white and black gospel, they'll have country music, you know, it's this huge kind of melange of stuff, and you know, there are no rules with that type of rock and roll. And I think that that's an important, for me, that being a mutt myself, you know, I identify with all of those things. You know, I listen to Hank Williams, and I listen to Marvin Gaye, and I listen to the Beatles, and you know, and as an American mutt, you can kind of identify there's something for everybody in a Tom Petty album. And I think that's, for me, that's the attraction of Tom Petty.
Love it, love it, guys. Where can people find you guys if they want to see where you're going to appear? Where, you know, how do they get you online?
Well, you can check us out on the waiting Bozeman.com. And then you can also check us out on the social media, the waiting Bozeman on Facebook and Instagram. Also, we have a YouTube page, which we were able to, for $1, get a license for our PBS episode, and there's singles up there from
that's so cool.
YouTube. So you can check out YouTube, the waiting Bozeman, and check that out. And so we're putting up like 3 or 4 every week out of the 12 recorded, including so we did 9 for the actual episode, and then we did 12 altogether. So we even have bonus videos up there of what didn't make the show.
Bonus tracks. Yes.
And we're going to put out a vinyl record from that PBS show as well.
How cool.
And anybody wants to come to New York, I know Chris's mom would love to come.
She's got a place for you guys to stay.
Well, what I was
It's a
really
real
hoping
travel.
to do one day is to actually sing, "Stop Dragging My Heart Around" with my mom. 'Cause she's got a beautiful. She's 87, just about to turn 88, but she's still doing it. She's still out singing and performing, and so I always thought that would be fun to do one of those.
You should come join us here and sing a little bit in the studio.
Yeah, we'd love to.
I love it, guys. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
And, keep knocking them dead. Let us know when you're coming to New York, man. I'd love to come see you guys play.
We will do that.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
guys.
Thanks for having us on.
Doc Wiley. Guys,
Thank you
thank you so
guys.
much. The waiting. Love
Take
it.
care.
All right,
From
fellas.
Bozeman, Montana.
Bozeman, Montana. Suk, you know, one of my favorite Tom Petty's is the Free Fallin'.
Free falling.
You know, she's a good girl.
I know, loves her mama.
Loves her mama.
Crazy about Elvis.
Loves Jesus.
And
and
America, too. Yeah.
Loves horses. Crazy about Elvis. And her boyfriend, too.
Yeah.
No, I love that stuff. We've had so many great tribute bands.
I know,
on,
and
singers.
it's so awesome that that they keep his legacy alive, because
I
that
know.
music.
I can't believe he's not.
I
he's
just
not
saw
with
it.
us.
Speaking about PBS, I just saw this, Roy Orbison special on PBS, and there was a young Bruce Springsteen there. There was like all these young musicians, like from it was like had to be like 89,
The footage is wild,
94, and you're like sitting there like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
That were like, Bonnie Raitt was the backup singer. I'm trying to remember who all these people were. I'm like, I know who this person is. Brian Ferry,
Oh my God, Brian Ferry.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, we fooled them again. Another fantastic show here on the Suki and Scott program. We got lots more to do. Check out The Waiting. It was The Waiting, Bozeman.
Yes.
.com from Bozeman, Montana.
Montana.
What up? I got to get out there, Suki.
You do.
I love that stuff.
I know.
Do a little glamping.
Little glamp. That's
Well,
the
yeah,
only
it's
way you're gonna get your
$10,000
wife
a
out
night.
there.
10 grand for a night for a tent. Ladies and gentlemen, lots more to do here on the Suki and Scott show. Don't move. We'll be back. I want people to see a quick little solo of yours from this show. Jeff, pop this up and let's
It's
be amazed
incredible.
for a second. Watch this.
amazing, amazing.
I can't even air drum that quickly, Carl.
It was speeded up. We sped it up for you.
Riding on the city of New Orleans, Illinois Central Monday morning rail. 15 cars and 15 restless riders, 3 conductors and 25 sacks of mail. All along the southbound Odyssey, the train pulls out of Kankakee, rolls along past houses, farms, and fields, passing graves that have no name, freight yards full of old black men, and the graveyards of rusted automobiles. Good morning, America, how are you? Don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Dealing cards with the old men in the club car. Penny a point, ain't no one keeping score. Pass the paper bag that holds the bottle, and feel the wheels grumbling neath the floor. And the sons of Pullman porters and the sons of engineers ride their father's magic carpet made of steel. Mothers with their babes asleep, rocking to the gentle beat, and the rhythm of the rails is all they feel. Good morning, America, how are you? Don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Nighttime on the city of New Orleans, changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home, we'll be there by the morning. Through the Mississippi darkness, rolling down to the sea. But all the towns and people seem to fade into a bad dream, and the steel rail still ain't heard the news. The conductor sings his song again, the passengers will please refrain. This train has got the disappearing railroad blues. Good morning, America, how are you? Don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done.